Hello, welcome to the weekly wind-up with myself, Emma Kirke. We've all seen the decline in services provided for the local community. Libraries, mental health and housing are all examples of those services that have been dramatically cut. Another has been the children's services, so it must be refreshing to the young families to find out that there is a support service aimed at them. Today I'm joined by Shabana and Michelle from Home Start. Welcome to the programme, ladies.
Thank you.
So for anyone who doesn't know what Home Start is, can you just explain to me a little bit about your service?
Yes, so Home Start is a voluntary organisation. We recruit and train parent volunteers who then go and support families in their own homes. We're actually a registered charity, so they provide a befriending support ideally. It could be any number of reasons why a family is referred to us. It could be maybe a mum suffering with mental health. It could be somebody with multiple births, or twins or triplets. It could be somebody suffering with just being really isolated in the community. So it's somebody there to visit them once a week in their own homes and just provide that emotional support, that practical support, you know, extra pair of hands to get the children out and about if they're not going anywhere. So things like that. We aim to, you know, they do become friends, so it's like having a friend visit once a week. Yeah.
And where do those referrals come from?
Mostly from health visiting. We get some from social care, some from the children's centres, some from schools and some from parents themselves that have heard of us and recognise that there is a need for support for them in their own homes.
Okay. So how are you funded?
We're part of the Thriving Kirklees partnership, which is a whole new initiative that came out from Kirklees Local Authority last year. So we're partnership funded, but Local are predominantly the ones that look after us and make sure we can function and pay us on a monthly basis. But the partnership involves Home Start, Locala, Northall Hall, which is also known as CHOOSE, CAMS, Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services, and West Yorkshire Children's Centre.
Okay, so how do you secure that funding? Do you have to apply to them for it?
No, we were part of a big funding bid last year, and our funding is now secure for the next 4 years. We won a 5-year contract, but to secure it we have to meet targets and certain key performance indicators, and we have to recruit and train a certain amount of volunteers every year, and we have to, I think this year we've got to support 112 families with the budget that we've been given.
And are there 112 families?
Almost definitely, yeah.
We've go on. I mean, last year we had 203 referrals into our service, so you know we've always got more referrals. So we definitely would meet our targets.
Yeah. And do you have enough people to cope with that?
Not always. Unfortunately, there's never enough volunteers to go around, so some families will maybe be on our waiting list for a while, and then we might not be able to support every family that gets referred into us. But we do, you know, sometimes it's just short-term support, sometimes it's longer term. So some families might have a volunteer for maybe 2 years, you know, somebody might just have one for a short period, like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all depends on the number of...
There's a big need out in Kirklees for families to be supported, and we always have far more referrals than we do have capacity and volunteers available to offer support.
So if somebody wants to volunteer to help out, how do they do that?
They just give us a ring. They can have a look at our...
do you know
they can ring anyone at Home Start Kirklees if they Google our name or they go on our website. There's contact details, there's an application form to volunteer, there's lots of information there about how they approach us and what we expect of them as volunteers. Our volunteers we have to put them through a certain criteria of things that we need from them for them to be eligible to volunteer.
Do they have to have certain qualifications beforehand?
Ideally, we just ask for parenting experience, so as long as they've had some sort of parenting experience. I mean, that they may not be a biological parent themselves, but they could have had experience, so maybe working in children's centres, maybe working in nurseries, schools, or extended family experience, so you know, with siblings or with relatives. So it's just that experience with children that they need, because it's that empathy that families wanting.
And of course somebody who perhaps doesn't have their own children might have more time.
All we ask of them is 3 hours a week of the time. Once they've been trained, we need put them on a 7-week or 10-week preparation course, first of all, which is just 1 day a week for 5 hours. We do that in parent-friendly hours, so we usually start about 9:30 in the morning and finish at 2:30 in the afternoon. Once they've done that preparation, then we have to DBS check them. Yeah. We interview them in their own homes just to make sure that that's a safe environment and they are who they say they are, kind of thing. And we take up 2 references from people that know them well. And once that's all in place, then they're insured by Home Start Kirklees to be able to go out and support families independently of us. But then what happens after that is they're supported by a coordinator. They have their own allocated coordinator that makes sure that they're okay in what they're doing and the support that they're offering.
The situation at the minute, obviously, there's a lot of people who have had accusations and prosecutions about interfering with children. Does that put people off from volunteering?
We've not really had any. We do a big session on safeguarding children and protecting the welfare of children, obviously. So we do go through things like that, but never had anybody worried about volunteering because of that.
Yeah. I mean, we do sessions on the training course, and it's really comprehensive. It's a real good package of training. We cover things like confidentiality, what they can and can't talk about to people other than people within Home Start. We do a session with them on boundaries, so they don't feel like they've got to move in and take over someone's life. We want 3 hours of their time a week, and that's it. We do a session with them on personal safety, don't we? So how we expect them to look after themselves while they were out there and how we will look after them. We risk assess every house that they go to, don't we?
And we always make sure we go into a family zone before. You know, we place a volunteer in with them so they know it's safe to go in there.
And then we those checks that we do, that means they're insured as a home visiting volunteer. And our parent scheme, Home Start UK, we've got a big package of insurance cover and to combat any claims or any false claims about. But I've never had one. I think between us we've been here 14, 16 years. We've never had a claim against a volunteer ever in all the time. And I can't think of a Home Start that has actually.
Do you get good feedback, obviously, from people who've used the service?
We do. A lot of our, we've had families who we've supported in the past that they've found it so beneficial that they've actually then come back and volunteered for us as well.
Perfect,
And then gone on to paid employment. So you know they've had the experience right from the start, from being a referred family to then volunteering and to then get paid employment in the family support area.
Well,
so
really
it's really positive, isn't it? Because a lot of our volunteers go on to paid employment, maybe social work or family support work.
And then parents that have had a home visiting volunteer, because we regularly visit the family and we regularly supervise the volunteers, will say to us, "Oh, I just so look forward to the day that she's coming. I feel lighter when she's been. It's someone to offload to, someone to talk to. She makes me feel like a better person." I think somebody said that to me.
Isn't it?
And that I feel I can live to parent another day, kind of thing. Because it is hard work.
You should have that as a slogan.
Oh, we've got all sorts of slogans.
And it's not just the parents, it's the children as well that really look forward to, because it might be the only day where they actually get to go out, maybe to the park or maybe to a group or just out generally. Especially for a mum suffering with depression, she may not feel comfortable or confident to go out on her own, so they do look forward to having the volunteer come in.
Sounds like a fabulous service, and I hope some people watching will take up on it if they actually are in need and they don't realise it's there. We've only got time for that today, I'm afraid.
Right.
But it's been really lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching at home. I'll be back next week. I'm Emma Kirke. Goodbye for now.